Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 13 of my favorite 30 drummers of all time. That's right, we're counting down each and every day here this month in November 2024. Our favorite 30 drummers across all genres, all styles of music. Those drummers that really groove with the best of them, that are our personal favorites. So today, this is a terrific drummer who I think sometimes doesn't get remembered enough for his drum skills because in more recent years, more recent, the last like probably 30, 40 years, always more remembered as a great vocalist and great singer. And he is, excuse me, he is indeed that. But first and foremost, he made his mark with a band many years ago for his drum skills before he actually became a singer. So let's take a look. Bring to the stage my pick number 13, none other than Mr. Phil Collins. That's right. Got his start in Genesis. Not the first band he was ever in, but that's the first notable band he was in as the drummer, occasional backing singer as well. Sang, a tune or a tune or two here and there until Peter Gabriel decided to leave the band. They went and did lots of auditions for new singers, and finally it was suggested, well, Phil, I mean, you've been singing backup vocals ever since you joined for the Nursery Crime album, and you do a lead vocal here and there on some of our past albums. How about you? Gee, why not? Turned out to be the greatest decision the band ever made because Phil, from that point on, not only did he continue to play drums in the band, but he also became one of the great singers of all time, not just in progressive rock, but also pop, because of course, Genesis in the turn of the 80s started to become more of a pop band. Kind of left a lot of the prog behind, still did a little prog, but and then of course he launched his solo career where he did pop and R&B and funk and soul and all sorts of other things, and of course became a huge celebrity in doing so. But we're talking about drum skills. An amazing drummer, amazing drummer. Whether it's doing all that crazy prog stuff in Genesis, the more funk and R&B and groove type material in his solo career, or jazz fusion, jazz rock in Brand X, right? Can't forget that he was the drummer in Brand X, right? So let's take a look at my favorite three albums. First and foremost, got to go with Unorthodox Behavior from Brand X, the debut Brand X album. It's just one of the great fusion albums of all time. And again, if you at the time, if you only knew Phil from his time in Genesis, and then you hear this, you're like, "Whoa, didn't know he had that in him." Even though he's played some spectacular stuff on those Genesis albums, right? But this was like a little bit different. This is just burning, rapid fire, yet still melodic fusion, alongside Percy Jones and John Goodsoul and company, right? It's terrific fusion album for fans of other bands like Tony Williams' Lifetime, Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, right? This kind of slots right in. And man, Phil's just doing some amazing work on this record. And then I'm going to go with the second album from Brand X is my number two album, A Rock and Roll. Again, kind of along the same lines of the debut album, maybe going off into some different directions here and there, but still absolutely thrilling fusion music. Always love that cover too. Just absolutely terrific. And just Phil just really showing off his absolute monster chops in this style of music, right? So from there, we're going to close the Prezi app because I do have stuff at the ready here, which I can show you. Flip myself back around. So my pick number three, I had to throw a Genesis record in here, and I was like, God, which is one that I think has some of my favorite Phil Collins drum parts. I mean, they all do, right? But I decided to go with "Selling England by the Pound." It's not usually my favorite Genesis album, but it's up there. But I think some of the drum work on this album is pretty damn spectacular from him, whether it's Dancing with the Moonlit Night, the kind of cool in the pocket, I know what I like in your wardrobe, right? His playing on Firth the Fifth is absolutely spectacular. Most people look at that song as a vehicle for Tony Banks's wonderful keyboards and that amazing guitar solo from Steve Hackett. But man, Phil is doing some monster playing on this song. The Battle of Epping Forest, That's a little bit more upbeat and rocking, right? That's some intricate stuff going on there. Cinema Show After the Ordeal, Idle Plan. I mean, oh, great stuff on here. So, I could have gone with Nursery Crime. I could have gone with Foxtrot. Could go with The Lamb, right? Thought about Trick of the Tail. I even thought about Duke. Duke's got some great playing on it, right? But for today, I went with Selling England by the Pound as my favorite of the Genesis albums with my favorite Phil drum performances. As far as that singular performance, this was a no-brainer. Right? This was the easiest part of this assignment was picking that favorite drum performance, and I'm going to go with a performance on a live album. And it's not just him; he's got a guy named Chester Thompson playing alongside him. But I'm going to go with Los Endos, the final track on the Genesis Seconds Out live album, which is spectacular. I mean, the stuff that both of these guys are doing on this track. I was going to go with Los Endos from the Trick of the Tail album, which is all Phil. But it's even more amazing on here because it's even more energetic. And plus, he's playing off of Chester, right? The two of them are just side by side doing some amazing stuff. And it's just, to me, it's a mind blowing performance from both gentlemen. But just goes to show you that, Phil, if you listen to the studio version, does all that stuff, but then he can work side by side with another drummer and make it equally as thrilling and more so in my book. So yeah, just absolutely amazing. Los Endos from Seconds Out is my pick. We'll get, like I said, to get the first two Brand X albums along with Selling England by the Pound. For Mr. Phil Collins, wish he was still able to play this way. As we know, his health has not been great in recent years, and I don't believe he does any drumming whatsoever anymore. He has not been able to do it on the most recent Genesis tour. He basically sat in a chair the whole night. So it's kind of a shame that his health has eroded him so much that he can't play drums anymore. Because man, the guy is spectacular. One of the all time greats. One of the all time greats. Again, more known for his vocal abilities, but I think those of us who know and have followed, especially Genesis all these years, we know what a great drummer that Phil Collins always was. So yeah, so that's my pick today, Mr. Phil Collins. Let us know what you think of Phil down in the comments below. I've seen plenty of you pick him already this month. So no surprise that he's making most of our list, as he should. And list your pick today, pick number 13, as we march our way towards number one, just about 2 weeks away, right, from crowning the number one, my favorite of all time. Might surprise some of you, right? We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down below. They all help support the channel. So thank you for all of you who do participate. You know who you are. It's greatly appreciated by me. And thanks again, everybody. We'll see you soon here with more stuff. What do we got coming up on the channel? We've got In the Prog Seat happening tomorrow. It is a album study week for In the Prog Seat. We're going to be looking at that fourth Peter Gabriel, speaking of Genesis, fourth Peter Gabriel solo album that's coming up on Tuesday, tomorrow. We've got some reviews happening this week. You should see reviews all throughout the week, not just on Wednesday, but you'll see the bulk on Wednesday. Thursday is Monsters Den. This week, we're going to take a look at some of the cool horror boutique labels that are out there. So these companies that are more on the boutique side who release lots of Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff, and we'll each be picking one label and talking about some of our favorite releases on that label. So that'll be coming up on Thursday. Friday, we have the professor's picks. Remember, we won't have Martin Popoff and myself for a few weeks, right? Because we're taking some time off. Martin and I will probably reconvene again after the holidays, probably like first of the year, in the new year. Because Martin's got lots of deadlines for books and things and some appearances and whatnot. And as I've always got a million things going on here, we get to see Tranquility Fall Fest coming up and all sorts of stuff in the holidays. So Martin and I decided to just kind of take a little bit of a breather because we really haven't in like 4 years. So yeah, so Martin and I will reconvene probably in the new year, although you'll see us together on stage at Sea of Tranquility Fall Fest in just a couple of weeks. We've got Saturday is the review crew, Jamie Laszlo and company, a new review crew episode. And Sunday is ranking the albums. Myself, Jamie Laszlo, and Karen LaPreziosa will be ranking the albums of Yob. That is coming up on Sunday. So all that and more here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.